Narcissists don't expect you to practice self-preservation. Hi, I'm Luminousz Star. Welcome to the channel. Mwah, my stars, thank you so much for keeping me motivated as well as passionate and keeping Luminousz Star channel active. All of you who are visiting for the first time, welcome to the Luminousz Star channel. Please mind the description box below for further details to today's video, and please like and share today's video. First point, self-preservation is what narcissists know very well. He or she manipulates everyone in order to obtain narcissistic supply by any means necessary. When the narcissist is found out, in the mind of the narcissist, he or she must be punished. Okay, so narcissist thinks that the self-preservation is only for them, okay, because they have predatory natures. So it's no thing for them to go out and scout for new supply. Okay, primary sources of supply, which are their families, their closest friends, but then they also want the secondary supply. This can be lovers, side, chicks or side pieces or whatever, right? Okay, so this is secondary and primary sources of supply. Yes, narcissists categorize their sources of supply, but when it comes to self-preservation, it's no thing for them to practice this. They just think it's only for them. But those around him or her who practice self-preservation, secretly the narcissist says, gotta punish that one. So this is when the diabolical tactics for narcissistic supply increase. Also, this is when the shenanigans that they pull also increase. So don't be surprised that they are seeking to punish people who practice self-preservation, because again, they think self-preservation is only for them. Next point. As far as the narcissist is concerned, it is not only inappropriate for anyone else to practice self-preservation, it is often a real inconvenience to him or her. Narcissists don't like others critically thinking. Rather, they like when others who supply them to be enablers. So when a person starts to critically think, yes, this is a threat to the false self-image or the false self-images of narcissists and cluster B personality types. They don't like it when people critically think, because more than likely, before the mask slips off, a person can already identify the narcissist and a cluster B personality. Because these individuals, they represent dysfunction. Narcissists and cluster B personalities, they do not engage in any other type of relationship other than toxic and dysfunctional. So yeah, they represent dysfunction, maybe even toxicity. But as far as like the narcissist is concerned, it is very inappropriate for other people to practice self-preservation. Again, they think it's only for them. So it is very inconvenient when other people within their circles start to think critically, therefore practice self-preservation. Let's move forward. While pulling shenanigans and engaging in diabolical tactics, narcissists often like to recruit flying monkeys out of their pool of enablers to do their dirty work in order to punish those targeted prey who begin to critically think about who and what the narcissist truly is. So what we have going on here is the narcissist recruiting flying monkeys, right? Usually they look to the enablers first to recruit flying monkeys in order to do their dirty work. The dirty work is hoovering the people who start to critically think and go no contact back in, right? Sometimes this can be tricky though. The people who begin to critically think, sometimes, it depends on the situation, sometimes the narcissist will recruit flying monkeys to hoover them back in, especially if this is a primary source supplier, okay, such as family, spouses, closest friends who may have a lot of money, right? Or who may be rubbing elbows with other influential people that the narcissist may want to get next to. So these are people that the narcissist, once the person starts to go no contact and maybe critically think about who the narcissist is and what they represent, they want to probably hoover them back in. And of course, this is for more narcissistic supply. It is not because they love and care about them so much. The other situation where they may not hoover the person back in, who may start critically thinking, is because that person found the narcissist out, and they may not be considered a person who is a primary source supplier, or a person that the narcissist feels that they can get more supply from. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So it depends on the situation, whether or not the narcissist will hoover a person back in who begins to practice self-preservation as well as start to critically think. All right, let's move forward. The ability and willingness to critically think, whereas the narcissist is concerned, takes emotional discipline. And this is what choosing to practice self-preservation is all about. Practicing emotional discipline is a game changer due to keeping the narcissist starving for narcissistic supply while having to go elsewhere for it. Okay, so a narcissist or cluster B personality, they may just say, okay, this person, they know all my business, right? So I'm just going to go elsewhere for the narcissistic supply. Those people who start to practice emotional discipline, this may turn out to be the case for him or her. The narcissist going elsewhere because they start to have personal boundaries. They start practicing, this is what emotional discipline is about also. They practice personal boundaries. They may start to assert themselves. In other words, they may become a little bit more vocal about how they feel and what they think about the narcissist pulling shenanigans and engaging in various diabolical tactics for narcissistic supply. So the narcissist may say, okay, this is too much. I'm just going to go elsewhere for the narcissistic supply. So in cases where someone is practicing emotional discipline, like I said, more than likely, this is probably going to be the result. The narcissist going elsewhere for narcissistic supply. Once the person starts to practice self-preservation, emotional discipline, assertion, as well as personal boundaries, that is a narcissist repellent. Actually, that's kryptonite to the narcissist because he or she cannot really penetrate the energy field of a person who practices personal boundaries, emotional discipline, self-preservation, and assertion. Okay, so the ability and the willingness to critically think is going to be a game changer. Okay, again, this is where the emotional discipline really comes in. Emotional discipline means more than likely a person is less likely to become reactionary. The narcissist loves it when people wear their heart on their sleeves because this way the narcissist can penetrate more successfully the energy field of that person. So when that person begins to become emotional or they become reactionary, the narcissist is right there to feed off of their energy field, just like a vampire. Okay, so, this is why they like to argue sometimes. This is why the narcissist likes to start drama or instigate fights because they get to draw from the energy field. When a person becomes emotional, more than likely, they're not practicing emotional discipline. Therefore, they're more than likely going to be reactionary. A person who critically thinks, they are more than likely to respond rather than become reactionary. So reactionary means acting out, therefore not being in control of one's own emotions or thoughts. That means the narcissist is in control, and that's what the narcissist like. So response means responsibility. Reactionary means acting out. Okay, so let's move forward. As the narcissist attempts to obtain your attention in order to obtain narcissistic supply, he or she does not expect you to take care of yourself by choosing to practice self-preservation. He or she is practicing self-preservation when they are attempting to obtain narcissistic supply from others. So again, the narcissists, they have that predatory nature. They're out for self. They have all of these false self-images that they're loyal to. Okay, so they need to keep that false self-image or all of the false self-images thriving and surviving. And they will do what is necessary to obtain that narcissistic supply. So the narcissists and the cluster B personality types, they don't expect anyone else to practice self-preservation like they do. This is another way of taking care of yourself. The narcissists don't expect that because they expect you and other people around them to supply them. Other people to the narcissist are like game pieces on a game board to be maneuvered at their will. They don't see other people as human beings who have free will to choose. Narcissists and cluster B personalities see other people as property. So when you begin to, practice self-preservation, that's like a shock to their system. So you practicing self-preservation doesn't feel too good to the narcissist and narcissistic personality, because that's a sign that they are losing control of you. Losing control means they're losing supply. And the mask may begin to slip off, and before you know it, you may have a narcissist in front of you who is having a real meltdown, or they are expressing narcissistic rage, and most people are not ready for that. Tool number 1, become familiar with the nature of those who have a narcissistic personality disorder and or who might have a cluster B personality type. Tool number 2, take steps to become prepared for the possibility of narcissists who were in your life to begin hoovering you back in while using flying monkeys and enablers to do it. Last and final tool, give yourself permission to continue to thrive forward by working your support base, using it to constructively express what you have experienced. Demonstrating your personal growth due to outgrowing the dysfunctional relationship with narcissists will pose as a threat to their false self-images. Self-preservation can prove to be a real game changer. But when you give yourself permission to continue to thrive forward and you're focusing on working your support base, building it and expanding it, you can express what you have experienced. You're no longer focused on the narcissist. That relationship may be over. You may be no contact right now, or at least contemplating it. That support base is going to be a real game changer, because this is where you can go to, I guess, relax, relate, and release. Okay? You can't do that with a narcissist. You can't do that with a cluster B personality. The entire theme of the dysfunctional relationship with him or her is toxicity. It's also deception. It's manipulation. The theme of the relationship is what's actually going on in the dysfunctional relationship with the narcissist and or cluster B personality. All types of shenanigans are being pulled. Okay? They're being deceptive. They're being manipulative. They're doing the smear campaigning. All of these things, again, are the themes, or it's the actual theme of the relationship with him or her. So you cannot relax, relate, and release in a dysfunctional relationship full of toxicity with a narcissist and a cluster B personality. Forget it. So your support base is going to be the real game changer, because now you can express what you have experienced. In one way or another, you're going to end up expressing what you have experienced. The way that you can constructively express what you have experienced is by working your support base, having a mentor to go to, having a life coach to go to, having a counselor to go to, or just going to a support group. Okay, or other things can consist of your support base, such as going to yoga, going to the gym, going out in nature, going camping, going kayaking, whatever, right? Anything that helps you to feel good and lift up your spirits can be a part of your support base. It's not just going to a therapist or a counselor or a doctor. Okay, of course, I advocate that as well. But just look at your support base as you're navigating it. You're at the forefront of building your support base. As that support base expands, you're growing. That's what's supposed to be happening. So when your support base is getting bigger and bigger and you're navigating it, this is another sign that you are growing and you're healing and you're thriving forward past narcissistic abuse. And where's the narcissist in all of that? Where's the cluster B personality in all of that? Exactly. They're nowhere to be found, okay? Because you're focusing on your support base. So demonstrating your personal growth is one way to show the narcissist and the cluster B personality that you are practicing self-preservation. You're not thinking about him or her anymore. The relationship with him or her has been over for a long time. Demonstrating your personal growth is a real game changer, because you're not engaged. You're not wasting time, energy, maybe even finances. You're not wasting any of that engaging in a dysfunctional relationship with a narcissist and cluster B personality. So simply demonstrating your growth is also a real game changer. These are the references and resources of which you can find in the description box below. I'm Luminousz Star. I want to thank everyone for joining me today or tonight. And of course, wherever you may be right now, I wish you the very best love possible. Until next time, stay tuned for more vlogs and stay tuned for more videos.